All right, welcome to Youth Ministry and Mentorship 101. Once again, I am excited. I'm always excited, but you know why? Because I'm always having interesting and wonderful guests in this field of youth ministry to talk to. And today I have Brother Carly from Brockton Temple, aka Mr. Celtic.
Mr. Celtic.
He is a big-time Celtic fan. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk to you, brother. A lot to get into, so let's get right into it by first, if you could give us an introduction about yourself and what you've been doing in life and in ministry.
All right. So, my name is Carly. Out of Brockton, Massachusetts, born and raised in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm planning to graduate with my associates at the local community college here in business management. Plan to transfer so I could get my bachelor's, eventually master's, maybe even doctorate. Lord knows what I got in store for me. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a Celtics fan. Everyone knows that. Follow me on Instagram right here. Just kidding. But yeah, born and raised in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Pathfinder has literally been my life for the past 10 years. I'm 11 years since I was 9. Yeah, that's really it. I'm currently the director of my home club. I'm also the drum coordinator for my area as well. Pathfinders really just plays a huge role in my life, like a huge role. So
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really.
You say a huge role, and that's exciting to hear because Pathfinders also plays a huge role in my life. It's something I love. I've been a drill instructor for many years, visiting many clubs, and so that's why it's interesting to talk to you about Pathfinder ministry. In fact, let's ask this question: what do you love so much about Pathfinder ministry?
Good question. I'm not gonna lie. Every now and then the love does, waver. But what really drew me into Pathfinders was the drum corps. I had my older cousins, who were in charge of the drum corps back when I was still in Adventurers. I didn't even finish Adventurers, but when I was supposed to be in Adventurers, I would see them take apart a drum set and they would play the toms, the bass from the cymbals, the hi-hat they would take and make it into cymbals. So I would see them, and then when they upgraded to like what the modern drum corps have, that really interested me. I wanted to be a part of it. But really what do I love? Besides the drum corps, I just love these kids. As much as I may not show it sometimes, they may annoy me, get me bothered. At the end of the day, I just want to be the example that I didn't have set for me because everyone just left. So that's what motivates me and gets me to keep going every Sunday. To keep doing these parades just because I never had someone to look up to. They all left. They all went to go just live their lives,
Wow.
And I just didn't want to be that person.
Wow. Brother, that is the exact same thing I went through. That is the exact same thing I went through. My church didn't have a Pathfinder club that was stable for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finally became assistant director, I was like, not on my watch. I want these young people to have someone to look up to. So that I love that testimony, brother. Now you are at Brockton Temple, which is a Haitian church, brother. It's a Haitian church, and you are very young. You are a young Pathfinder director. So I'm just gonna come right out and ask the question because I know I may know the answer, I may be wrong, but what struggles have you had being a young Pathfinder director in your local church?
What struggles? Like, we ain't got all day, but I could go on.
Give me 2.
I might have to give you more than that just to
All
get
right.
the. All right. So, what struggles do I face as a young Pathfinder director? first and foremost, being young African American man, um, I'm not expected to still be in church, you know.
Mm,
So it's like you grow up in the church, and once you're old enough to drive, once you know when you're in college, yeah, you expect it's the norm to leave.
mm,
But me, I'm still here. My group of friends are not nowhere to be found, but ask them to come back to Pathfinders help out one Sunday, I'm getting laughed at. So that's a struggle. And you know, me personally, like I try not to take things personal, but sometimes some things, the little things get to you. So I'm not gonna like things. I I'm a good actor because you know I'm a Haitian Seventh Day Adventist, but but yeah, sometimes just the little things like that get to me. That's one. And another thing that I face that I'm now realizing is the support from people who say, oh, it's kind of similar, who say they're gonna be there for you.
mm,
Um, when you get a call from the nomination committee, they're motivating you to take the position because there's no one else to take it. And Haitians are very good motivators. You know what I'm saying? When they need something, oh, you're not called. You feel me?
yes.
So they're on the phone, oh, we'll be there right by your side, this and third. So so you feel encouraged, you feel motivated to take the position and then when you're there, there's you're actually really there all by yourself.
Wow.
Um, your staff's not really there. Not to say my staff's not there, but like just me, I'm gonna say it. My staff contains of minors, like
Mm,
kids my age. Like I'm one of the oldest people in my staff.
yeah.
Um, all the adults nowhere to be seen. Um, the PPA, the Parent Association, can't find them.
Wow.
So that's just those are just two things that I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
brother. And it's the interesting thing is you'll find that in not only Haitian churches, you'll find that in a lot of churches.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle, especially in this ministry, especially since Pathfinder ministry is seen as the the 10 to 15-year-old babysitting
Mhm.
association or
Babysit.
something like that, where parents, adventures, the parents are in the room with the kids, but now Pathfinders, they don't have to be. So now they're like, okay, I get to go do
Yep.
my errands and see you later for the next 2 hours. And then you're like, no, I need some chaperones. I need some help.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's definitely a struggle I can, be familiar with.
Yeah.
Um, Going along with that, one of the things that really brought my attention to your club and why I wanted to really talk to you is you guys, this is an Oshkosh year. And of course you needed a fundraiser because funds are tight and you guys have a big club and you need to get there safely and with funds to feed and everything like that. So
Mhm.
you guys had a fundraiser. Could you let us know what kind of fundraiser that was?
All right. So I can't take any credit for it at all. But last year's director, my good friend Tajma, um, she came up with the idea to have a Pathfinder fashion show.
Oh,
Pathfinder fashion show. So it was like not only was it to raise money, but it was just a way to get the kids, the clubs in the local area to get together other than a parade or other than camp. Just everyone come out on a Saturday night, just have a good time and raise some money. That's the main goal.
yes. Awesome. And I saw some snippets of it on various social media accounts.
Yeah,
It was lit. People were looking good.
absolutely.
We saw some. I saw some area coordinators. Was that executive coordinator Jean Baptiste
The
in
one
that
and
fashion show?
only. Yes,
How,
sir.
how did you guys book him?
First of all, John's family. John's home. Brockton's his home. So you never forget where home is. So we once we called him up, like, yo, we need you in a few categories. So do this marching, this fashion show. He was more than honored. I was glad to see him around his family. Everyone to get his home family, his actual family, his church family, everyone. It was just good to see him and have him be a part of the whole experience.
Awesome, awesome. Um, and you guys incorporated everything into that fashion show. You had church fashion,
Yeah,
casual,
yeah.
and of course my favorite category, master guides,
Uh-huh.
looking
So
good.
yeah, so we had four different categories. We had the first category was Rep Your Club, where like everyone would wear club gear, like whether it's t-shirt, hoodie, sweatpants, bucket hats, gotta represent. And just anything that had your club name on it or whatever. That was the first category. Second category was camp attire, like anything that you would wear to camp, a fanny pack, a duffel bag that you would have, um, even like the wacky tacky outfits, you just wake up, do rag on, stuff like that. So camp attire, yeah, camp gear, camp attire. We had camp shirts, which was interesting to see how far back people were in Pathfinders. So you know how every camp people like there's a shirt
Yeah.
represents the camp. So I think we went all the way back to 2007, I believe. Yes, we
Wow.
can in New Jersey. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably skipped a few years. We had Oshkosh 2014, and all the way till last year.
Wow.
And then the last one was Sabbath Slay. Everyone gotta pop out Saturday, especially when the sun's out, nice weather. There's gonna be
Yes.
footies at the church. You gotta. It's good.
Looking good. Yes. Oh man, it was an exciting fundraiser. Even though I was not there, but I could see what you guys were doing. And what I really wanted to point out is that the kids were having fun,
Mhm.
and I think that's something that's really interesting when we do these. When directors like yourself and the director that predecessed you. Um, have these innovative ideas, it's like good to have them because the kids are having fun. And of course, you guys were raising money for Oshkosh. And also, you guys uh, fulfilled another thing, which was you guys prepared the kids for camp because now they're remembering what they have to pack when they
Yeah.
go. They're like, okay, that's what I have to wear when
Uh-huh.
I'm on a regular day. That's what I have to wear when I'm representing the club. Of course, I have to bring my Class A and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. So yeah, that's awesome. Um, Going along in that line with this awesome idea,
Mhm.
I want to know, if as much as I can, I'm imagining myself as a fly on the wall when this idea was brought forward. How was it taken at your local church?
Like how did the kids take it? How did the adults take it?
Oh well, I'm assuming that the kids were like, oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
But how did the leadership of the church and those who would approve it take it?
When I brought it to committee, everyone's looking at me, waiting for me to explain more because they're like, there's no way, like, there's no way that we're gonna have a fashion show with our kids in it and no clothes. They automatically thought the worst,
Mm,
um, which is kind of sad because they kind of raised us. They should know they raised us better than
yes. Yeah.
than what the world has to offer. So we explained it to them, and yeah, they once we explained it, it's a fundraiser, different categories, and we stressed the fact that they're gonna have clothes on clearly, but
Mm,
yeah, and then after that, it was all right, you know, but yeah, then the youth just took over and handle their business the way we had to do to make it successful.
wow. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So that was an interesting fundraiser idea. I don't know if other clubs will do it, but I think it was really cool because you also had other clubs join in, like
Yeah.
which other clubs were part of it?
So we had Philly Lions, Temple Salem Saints. Um, is that it? Yeah, but that's all that was in. Was it? I don't want to leave out any club. We had Oak Street represented,
Okay.
um, which isn't in our conference, but we still had them represent. And then we had a few other clubs in the audience. Dedham came through, Waymark came through. Um, yeah, pretty much the whole area I think was there.
Of course. Hey man, they heard of a fashion show. They're like, let me see what's going on.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. So going along in that, as a Pathfinder director, what are you doing this year to prepare for Oshkosh? Like,
Just camping, like just honor, just basic stuff.
yeah.
Camping skills, backpacking honor, making sure they know how to roll their stuff properly for camp, how to pack, what to pack, set up a tent, you know, just basic stuff like that.
Yeah. Has it been do you feel a little more pressure during this year, more stress as you guys are heading all the way to Oshkosh, Wisconsin from
Yeah,
Boston?
absolutely. Because the further, the more expensive, and ain't nobody rich out here,
Mm,
so it's just tough because everyone's struggling, but we trying to make this work. So we want to give the kids one of the greatest experiences. I read something the Coachella of Adventists, so
uh,
so we trying to make it as memorable as possible for them, so.
yeah, awesome. I like that, the Coachella of Adventist. It
Yeah, I seen it
definitely,
on Instagram like 5 minutes ago. It was funny.
yeah, yeah. It really is has that kind of feel because it's a
Yeah.
lot of young people and they're really excited. Um, Going on with that, you said that you wanted to be that person that the youth look up to. How do you give that example to those young people in your church, in the club, and outside of it?
How do I give that example? It's cliche, but like just living the life that I try to preach, Um, because I'm a victim of someone growing up in the church, having high expectations for people, um, putting them on a pedestal and them letting me down.
Mm,
Especially like yeah. So that's happened to me a few times where I looked at people and put them up here because of what they did in church, um, and a reality check happens, and I remember they're human, So I kind of like it. I try my best to live by example, Um, try to stay away from all the worldly pleasures that young men, African American men, just people in general, um, fall into. I try to remind them that I'm human as well.
mm,
Let them know that it's okay to mess up, but it's about how you get up.
yeah.
Not about how you start, but how you finish. That's what John always says. It is just like yeah, just like to remind them that everyone's human.
Yeah.
So like aim high, but like I don't know if I'm making sense right now.
No, no, you're making sense. It's like you want them to still see you as someone that they can come to for
Absolutely.
advice, but also you want to be honest with them and say, listen, don't put me on that super high pedestal. Put Jesus
Yeah,
on there,
absolutely.
because us as human leaders, um, it's with with great power comes with great responsibility, and you can feel that on your shoulders, and you're just like,
Yeah,
listen, you know, I know one day I'm gonna fall, so
absolutely.
don't look to me too much, and I've been there too, brother. Uh, I'll let you know this. Back in the day when I was a young leader, I would get a little, I would puff out my chest whenever a parent said, "Yeah, my son wants to be just like you," and I'd be like, "Yeah, they do." But now I'm just when I hear that statement from a parent, I'm like, "Whoa, whoa." So now I have to talk to that young person. I'm like, "Listen, be you,
Yeah. Hmm.
because God has a special plan for you, and you're unique." So yeah, so I definitely can
Yeah.
associate with that, brother.
And like one thing that I also try to let them know is like the same thing that they're because me and my Pathfinders and I like we're not that much different in age, you
Hmm.
know. So it's like whatever struggles you're going through, I'm going through them too. So we'll get through it together.
Yeah.
Like we like to, at least I like used to look up to these adults and like, wow, they're perfect, they're saints, they're angels, but yet they're still dealing with, like, we all fail to realize that life is an ongoing game. It's like we're all still trying to be better. There's no point where you're just perfect, you know. So it's like, it's all, oh man, the lighting's gone.
Yeah, lighting fell on me, but it's all right.
Like, there's no way that, like, there's no point in your life where you're gonna be perfect. Like, you got to keep striving for greatness. You got to keep aiming for perfection, even though perfection is only in heaven. And you know, the marathon continues.
There you go. Very awesome. So it's like, just and like that's straight from scripture. Paul states that, he says, you know, everyone runs the race, only one wins. So run the race like you are trying to win. You know, don't just let people pass you by. You know, keep fighting every day. Take up the cross and you know, keep on going. So with that said, brother, as a mentor to young people, is there something a mentor has said to you that sticks with you to this day?
Is there something that a mentor has said to me that sticks to this day? It's a good one. John always told me, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And he always told me to, like, another mentor always told me, like, be careful, like, what you do in the dark will come in the light, you know, because no one's perfect. And people, especially as of late with the whole the Me Too movement, whatever you do in the dark will come. Like, everyone has something that they do in the dark. And everyone does fall, but it's about getting back up. It's about finishing the race strong, like we just mentioned. So it's like, life is full of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you can't stay down. You gotta keep moving.
Gotta keep moving. Awesome. Brother Carly, Mr. Celtic, I thank you so much for coming on this podcast. It was really exciting to talk to you about that exciting initiative you guys did at your church with that fashion show. But before we head off, like we usually do on this podcast, could you give some words of encouragement as a leader yourself to those who want to be future leaders, those who are hearing the call into ministry and youth ministry?
Just be yourself. Live up to your own expectations. Don't let people chat in your ears telling what you should and shouldn't be, who you are and who you aren't, because at the end of the day, it's between you and God. Nowadays, people don't mind their own business, so, like, they may see you doing certain things, and although it's good to listen, it's good to listen, but just know that, like, there's certain things that only you and God could work out, and people tend to mind each other's business too much when it comes to that. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
oh no, you're making perfect sense, brother.
Yeah, so just live your life. Don't try to pressure yourself into doing anything that people say you need to do. And make sure you have that one-on-one relationship with God, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. People could talk. People are always going to talk, but it's really between, if you're solid with your relationship, it's all that matters. So keep striving and keep doing great things.
Oh, brother, thank you so much. So once again, brother Carly, I thank you so much for coming on the podcast. May God bless your ministry over there at Brockton Temple.
Thank you.
All right.